guys and welcome, my name is Jude and today I am here to do a review of A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. Now let me just read you a little bit of the summary here, well like a little bit of the blurby thing here. It says, from the New York Times best-selling author Sarah J. Maas comes a seductive and breathtaking new book that blends romance, adventure, and fairy love into her most unforgettable story yet. And I was checking out Goodreads, and on Goodreads it says, a thrilling, seductive new series from the New York Times bestselling author Sarah J. Maas, blending Beauty and the Beast with fairy love. That's a lot more accurate. Nowhere in here in any part of the book does it say anything about the Beauty and the Beast, but it's actually a Beauty and the Beast ripoff. It makes me think that many people were like, hey, this is a ripoff of the Beauty and the Beast, and they were like, okay, let's add it on the Goodreads thingy. Yeah. Now, just so you know, I liked the story. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, but it was a Beauty and the Beast ripoff. There's a difference between a book being based on a story and another to it being exactly the same. And I am not talking about the Disney version of things. I am talking about the French movie of 2014, if I'm not mistaken. Beauty and the Beast. French Beauty and the Beast. Which, by the way, it's a beautifully, visually stunning movie. It is so well done. I loved everything. The beast, the dresses, the castle. Everything was so well done. But they did that thing where they do insta-love. It's like they could have played it out a little bit more with the whole Beauty and the Beast thing, romancy going on, and it would have worked so well. But it ended up going flat, because it seemed like insta-love, and I didn't like that. I felt like there was no chemistry between her and the Beast, and that it was really forced, and out of nowhere she's like, I hate you, and then the next scene, she like looks at him and she's like, maybe I don't. And it was awkward, to say the least, so I didn't really like it as much as I could have. But this book is the exact ripoff of this one. The really annoying spoiled sisters losing their fortune, the ships, going to the castle, the transformation, everything was the same. So as I said, I liked it. It was a good novel. It was fun, but I was like, I literally just watched this movie, which I had. I watched it like a week before picking up this book. So it was such like she watched the movie and she was like, I like it and I can make it better, and she did. But I'm just saying, it was the same. So for a moment there, I was sort of like, I clashed a little bit with that, and I felt like my brain putting up a resistance, like this is a ripoff. But then I looked past that and I was like, okay, let's take it as sort of like a retelling. Half retelling, half ripoff, half original. So getting that out of the way, just know that this is like a Beauty and the Beast sort of retelling kind of thing. Like it has a lot of Beauty and the Beast elements to it. A lot. Which I didn't know of, so I was really taken aback by that, but I think you should know. So right off the bat, I gotta say that I had a hard time reading this book because, as I said, there's annoying sisters, and the main protagonist called Firu. Is that how it's pronounced? Firu. Yes, Firu. I don't know if I'm doing that right. Firu, whatever. She's really tolerant of her sisters, and these sisters are so annoying, and I just wanted them out of the picture. I was like, I don't like you at all. But she was like, oh my god, they're my sisters in distress, so I'm gonna do the work for them. And I was like, no. So I had just a bit of a conflict point there, you know, with her being way too like submissive to her sisters. I would have reacted very differently, so I clashed a little bit with that. But once the story got going and the sisters weren't in the picture anymore, the story got a lot better. A lot. I really liked how the story was flowing. It was at a really nice pace. It really allowed you to set time for the romancy thing going on, to see the environment and get adjusted to the world. I didn't feel rushed. It was actually, looking back on it, it was a slow-paced story. Because I realized that not much had happened through a good half of the book in terms of like a lot of change. It was just, it took its time to set up the whole mood, the whole environment, the whole place, and I appreciated that. And I really liked where the story was going. I was liking the characters, the dangerous situations, and how everything was just flowing. As it happens in the Beauty and the Beast, no spoilers, but like, you know, Bella is allowed to go home to visit her parents. Father, sorry. And when she goes, there's conflict back with the Beast, you know, that happens in the story, and that also happens here differently. It's a different it's different. But the main essence happens, which is where the point of main conflict comes in. Now, as I said, no spoilers, but there's a point in the novel where things just take a whole turn, and it's like, whoa. It's like everything you learned just goes flying out the window, and you have all of these new things to learn, and it's like, whoa, that was not subtle. That was not subtle at all. And I think that's where my main issue with the novel came. I found it so hard to go from half of the book being one thing to it changing so abruptly, and it was just sort of like everything was just thrown at you out of nowhere. So my brain was like, again, like resistance, and that was the issue with me in this book. I don't feel like it was as subtle as it should have been, but overall the adventure was cool. So the point of conflict happens, and considering that the whole book had been so slow-paced, the first 3/4 of it, I was like, this is gonna end in a really big cliffhanger right before the adventure starts. But no. The last quarter of the book is insane. 3 months happened in like 100 pages, and it's like, which was actually pretty sweet because, as I said, I was so sure that it was gonna end in like a killer cliffhanger right before this big adventure started, but no. She went through it. Sarah J. Maas gave you the big adventure at the end, and it was pretty cool. I really liked it. It was sturdy, it was intense, it was very visual. The way that Sarah J. Maas writes makes you really see things clearly, so I could see everything. And it was really cool, and you learn a lot about the world and the characters, and it was just, I like it. I really liked it. The ending was pretty sweet. It's really cool, I'm not gonna lie. So, I feel like I have more thoughts to give, but they are spoilery, so I think I will just write them down on my Goodreads review and, you know, just hide them with the spoilery thing. But overall, I liked the book. I thought it was a fun time, adventure-y thing. I'm not a big fan of fairy novels. I don't know why I've always been kind of hesitant to read fairy books. I don't know, I just feel like pixies are like so cute, and it seems stupid to me to think of them as a big epic adventure kind of thing, but it worked. It had a lot of the Beauty and the Beast thing. I liked that she's a 19-year-old girl and she has a sexual desires. Yeah, I like that it was in the book, because that's another thing that I think is very associated with the Beauty and the Beast. You know, that Belle is sort of this like really pure thing, and I love that. Pure thing. And I love that here, Firu was a really complex character with all of the desires and wants and needs that a 19-year-old would have. Overall, it was an enjoyable book. I think I will continue with the series. As I said, the ending was a lot to take in and a lot happened, and yeah, I want to see where it goes now for the second book. I have some theories, as most of us do. I mean, I've been talking to people that have read it, and we're all like, yeah, I think that's gonna happen. So I'm just excited to see where the story will go, what will happen with Firu and the other guy that I forgot his name. Tamlin. And another really interestingly complex character that I liked was Lucien. It says here how to pronounce the names, just so you know. So I'm really curious as to how Lucien is going to turn out. At the end of the novel, he's a very important character, and yeah, I liked him a lot. I don't ship anyone with him, but he was a really interesting, complex character. Oh, and also the sisters. The sisters, by the end of the novel, they are kind of, they're not a pain in the ass anymore, because you understand where they came from and why they are the way they are, and I'm actually intrigued, and I would actually like to read more about them in the second book, because they turned out to be pretty interesting, complex characters. So, character development right there. Character development done right. So yeah, 4 out of 5 stars if you like romancy, fairy kind of things, or the Beauty and the Beast, and you want something of the sort. It's gonna be a good book. It's a fun time. Recommended. Yeah. So yeah, do let me know if you read it, if you liked it, if you read other books by Sarah J. Maas, if you like those, like, you know, Throne of Glass. I'm talking about Throne of Glass. And yes, just let me know in the comment section down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye! Just so you know, I already started reading the Thorns of Glass series. I like it a lot more. I mean, it's different, but I'm enjoying it so much. Like, it's so good.